Hi everyone, I'm Nora Tobin, proud partner to Mera International Luxury Brands. I'm thrilled to share a Hyperice stress relief workshop that's going to shift your physiology to adapt to stress, improve deeper stages of sleep, and enhance your workday with energy elevations and more productivity. So starting with stress, I know I can get to be feeling tired and wired at the same time, feeling a little bit anxious or burnt out. And it really comes down to one of the factors comes down to our hormonal balance. So our cortisol, which is our stress hormone, is supposed to rise and fall throughout the day. It's supposed to rise to get us up in the morning, get us going for daily tasks, and then by the evening, it's really supposed to fall, setting us up for a good night's sleep. What happens with physical, mental, or environmental stress is that cortisol, that stress hormone, actually rises and then just keeps rising, never allowing our body to just calm itself, coming into that parasympathetic, that calm nervous system. Why this is an issue. So if you think about three main hormones, we have a number of hormones, they serve a lot of functions in our body, but three main hormones that are essential to weight management, sex drive, productivity, and energy so if we think about the three, we think of it in a triangle. So that cortisol, that stress hormone, is at the top of the triangle. On the other two sides of our hormone triangle are your thyroid, that governs weight management and metabolism, and then estrogen and testosterone on the other side of that triangle. So our body is very efficient. It knows that it needs to keep itself going, maintain that daily energy that we expect. So that cortisol, in order to stay lifted throughout the day, it starts to pull from those other places in that hormone triangle. So it'll pull from the thyroid, or it'll pull from the estrogen and testosterone, or it'll pull from both. This equates to three things, or three top things. Number one, we start to hold on to weight. So even if we're eating healthy, our nutrition's on point, our fitness is on point, if our cortisol is high, we're going to start storing fat, especially in the abdominal region. So stress can equate to weight gain. Second thing that happens is that estrogen and testosterone, that sex drive, those hormones that are essential for a number of factors in our body and our mind, starts to be pulled. So then we start to lose that drive. We lose the ability to create essential hormones for a number of functions in the body. And then finally, when that cortisol is high, we're gonna have a tendency to not get a good night's sleep, because again, cortisol is supposed to come down, and then at night it's supposed to help us go into that reparative mode. So there are a couple quick ways to really affect that cortisol, to lower the cortisol throughout the day and then into the evening. One is a very simple breath technique. So I invite you to stand up tall or sit up, drawing your shoulders down and back. And all we're gonna do is inhale for 3, hold your breath at the top for 3, and exhale for 5. So we'll do a couple together. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more just like that. Inhale. Hold. And exhale for 5. And gently opening your eyes. So that's just an example of something that we can do at any time during the day or before we go to sleep to shift our physiology to adapt to stress without taking us out of our routine or the moment. Even if you're on a conference call or you're about to give a presentation, this breath technique can be so helpful for lowering stress, reducing anxiety, and improving your overall state. Another great thing to do is get into different acupressure points in your body to release tension and let your body open up its own energy channels. So a great tool for that is our Hyperice. So all we're gonna do is take this little ball. It doesn't look like much, but it's powerful. You can turn it on right here to actually get the power going for that vibration, or you can leave it off, whatever is comfortable for you to start, or whatever your preference is. We're gonna come to the floor. You're gonna come to a seated position, and we're gonna start on our, right underneath our hip. So all we're gonna do is place your hands behind you, starting onto that hip, and then we're gonna roll along that line from our hip down towards our knee. So we're gonna get all the way from here down, which is, there's a lot going on down there, but one of those components is our IT band that gets really locked up when we sit. It's also can be really tight for those who run or work out quite a bit. So what we're gonna do is just move that through, and when you get to a point that feels like a wowza, like I can feel it, stay there, breathe into that space, and then move that ball down. So the nice thing about the Hyperice products and the Hypersphere is that there's no wrong way to do this. So wherever it feels good for you, if it feels like too much to start, put more weight into your hands, let your leg come up a little bit more, ease in. So this is supposed to feel good. It's supposed to reduce your stress. So don't feel like you have to push it. You never have to push it. It's really calming just to roll along that space. Another space that's great, especially before you go to bed, is along your low back. So when we hinge over, we're gonna hinge not on our spine, but on our, towards the side of the spine, rolling down and up along the rib cage, but not on the rib cage. So you just never want to be on the bone, you just want to get into that muscle. All you're doing here is hinging over and rolling forward and back. So those are two simple points you can use with this. This is a great tool. You can use it for a number of things, but when you are utilizing this, just know that the more you breathe, the better it is. The more you can play with it, move it along your body, move it into your shoulders, along your feet. So sometimes at night when I'm watching a show, actually a lot of times at night I'm using these products when I'm watching shows because it's easy to do while you're watching. But you can, I would ideally not have my shoes on for this, but you can roll it underneath your feet as well. So by rolling this along my foot, I'm getting into a number of acupressure points, opening up those energy channels in the body and helping me shift into that parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxed state. So those are just two really simple ways to shift your stress, to negate that stress and set you up for success. There are a number of other amazing techniques, but those are two of them. Next part of our series is on sleep. So sleep is so important. We know many reasons why. Of course, when we don't get a good night's sleep, we feel groggy the next day. We might be craving sugary food. It just can be very detrimental to our day. One of the reasons why sleep is so important is because a good night's sleep activates the glymphatic system. So that's when our brain expands at night when we're sleeping. It expands and cerebral spinal fluid flushes through the brain, clearing out brain plaque and toxins. This happens, the percentage of the time that the glymphatic system turns on is really at night. So it's about 90% active at night and about only 10% active during the day. So in order for us to clear out those toxins, clear out that brain plaque, we want to get into that deep stages of sleep. Those deep stages, theta and delta brainwaves turn on, slow down, and help us repair. So two easy ways to get into a good night's sleep is number one, and it sounds so simple, but all you're gonna do is lie with your legs up the wall. You can do this for a few minutes, ideally without your phone. And when you lay there, you can activate that breathing technique that we just did, that 3 in, 5 out. Or you can just simply lay there, listen to some music, relax, close your eyes, and just hang. So the reason why this works is back again to that parasympathetic nervous system. So we have our sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight mode, that constant scanning for danger, scanning, utilizing your awareness all day. And then the parasympathetic nervous system, that calm, rest, restore that we want to easily shift into before bed. So at night, we can easily get into that by laying with our legs up the wall and setting ourselves up for a good night's sleep. Another great tool to help us sleep is the Hypervolt. So all these tools are interchangeable. You can use the Hyposphere for one, the Hypervolt for the other. They have a lot of different functions, so pick and choose what you like. But at night, I will also be using this before I go to bed. So when you turn it on, you just turn it on in the bottom, turn it on, and then you'll see that green come across. And then there's different settings. So I actually use it in the morning and at night for two different purposes. At night, I'll just turn this on once, and it'll be that light vibration. So then I'll just run it along my legs, my calves, my lower back. Again, wherever it feels good. I ideally will get the whole body, inner thighs, but that vibrational frequency helps to calm the nervous system, helps calm the body if it's on that low setting. And then another place to get is those upper traps. So ideally I'd do both legs, I'd run it along my back, and then in the upper body, the upper traps right along here get really locked up, especially from sitting, especially from sitting at a desk. So we want to negate the effects of that by utilizing this tool to release that tension. So when we're in that seated position, ideally, we're standing up tall, but sometimes I know I do this at my desk. Sometimes I'm here working away or on my phone. This can shift our hormonal balance. So back to that cortisol, that stress hormone. This actually raises our cortisol. This can lower our cortisol and lift up our ability to create estrogen and testosterone, especially testosterone. So for all of us, it's important to stand up straight, sit up straight, but also get in using these types of tools, get into the places that get affected the most by our seated position. So finally, moving on to our energy work. This is ideal for the morning or before a workout. But what happens first thing in the morning that you can do, or the one way to generate energy first thing in the morning, number one is fast. So intermittent fasting is essentially just changing the time in which you eat to a shorter period rather than changing everything you're eating or doing this complete upheaval of your nutritional regime. Of course, you want to include healthy fats, clean proteins, clean carbohydrates, but if all you do is shift the time in which you eat, you'll see and feel a big difference in your energy level and your physique. What happens in that 16 hours that you're not eating, if you shorten your window to an 8-hour period, the 16 hours or whatever that is that you're not eating, that time in which you take a break from eating, your body goes into autophagy or starts to utilize autophagy, rapid cellular cleanup mode. So it'll be rebooting its mitochondria, that powerhouse, that battery power of your body, and clearing out your cells efficiently. It also helps utilize irisin, burning white fat, which is that visceral fat, and then using brown fat, which is the protective fat around your organs and your neck. Finally, the 8-hour eating window helps boost energy right to the brain. So in the morning, instead of taking all your energy to digest your breakfast, you would have energy right away to the brain to accomplish your daily tasks. Another great quick pick-me-up is to get back to this Hypervolt, but in a different setting. So again, we're gonna turn it back on, and then we're gonna go to the third setting, so all the way up. And this is what we call the sweep. So you're just gonna sweep all along your body, on the backs of your legs, all the way up through your back, along your upper traps. Again, just not on the bone, along the traps, through the back. Basically, you're hitting all the points on your body that feel good for you. And the idea here is to do just a quick sweep first thing in the morning. Nice, so we get all those areas. This was for demonstration purposes, but you'll get it all. So first thing in the morning, when we do that sweep, we're turning on our nervous system. We're saying, you're ready, we're ready to go, activating energy to the brain. It's also a great thing to do before a workout. It helps warm up the body, prepare the muscles for movement, and get us ready to move the most efficiently. So that's it, just 2 simple strategies to activate your energy. So we have our stress relief strategies, sleep strategies, and energy. If you only take one from this, that would be great. If you take them all, excellent too. My Fulfillment in 3 program, I've always made it a point to deliver strategies to those in a 24/7 work week who want to thrive without deprivation and not sacrifice time. So definitely utilize the tools in here that apply to you, that feel good for you. Leave the rest that no longer serves you, but make sure that if you haven't tried it yet, just try it. You'll notice a difference very quickly. All of these strategies are meant to work in a short period of time and be impactful without, again, taking up too much time. If you'd like to join me for a live yoga class each day, I'm so excited. I'd be so excited to have you. From Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific, I share a live yoga class on my Instagram. And please reach out if you have any questions at all. If you're looking for more strategies for sleep, stress, and energy, we're here for you. And I am so thrilled to partner with Hyperice on all of your wellness needs.